On a great night for soccer in downtown Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the home team is looking for a big-time upset as the Marquette Golden Eagles welcome the number 13 ranked team in the country who is perfect 7-0 in Big East play in the Georgetown Hoyas in a game that is very important for both teams in the Big East standings as well, with just a few weeks to go before the Big East tournament. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our broadcast at Valley Fields, just off the campus of Marquette University. My name is Matt Yeasel, thrilled to be with you this evening as Georgetown coming in at 11-2-2 on the season, and again, a perfect 7-0 in Big East play. Marquette coming in off their first Big East loss of the season, 3-0 to Villanova on Wednesday on the road. They come in 6-4-4 on the season as a whole, now 2-1-3 in Big East play. Marquette sits in 5th in the Big East standings among the 6 teams looking to make it to the Big East Conference Tournament. As we get you our starting lineups here this evening for the visiting Georgetown Hoyas, Kara Martin, the reigning Big East goalkeeper of the year, sits between the posts, and Maya Lardner, the graduate forward, number 9, certainly a name to watch tonight as well, the reigning Big East offensive player of the year among many big-time names on this Hoyas roster. Senior midfielder Natalie Means, a fellow captain along with Lardner as well for Georgetown. And now moving to the Marquette side, Haley Wade, the sophomore goalkeeper in the net for Marquette, has had a strong sophomore campaign. The captain, number 3, senior midfielder Molly Kuiper, will play a big role, along with Emily Fix, number 23, the junior forward from Gurnee, Illinois. For the second straight night, no Jocelyn Lee for Marquette. She was not able to play at Villanova, the points leader for this Golden Eagles roster. We'll see if she's able to get into this one, but was not able to play at Villanova. And the second leading point scorer for Marquette, Coco Dorfman, also not in the starting lineup, the freshman midfielder. For Marquette, an opportunity for what would really be a historic upset. Georgetown, a powerhouse program, both the men's and women's soccer side. And on the women's side, Marquette has not beaten this Hoya squad in the last 10 years. 10-0 Georgetown is in the last 10 matchups. Last year it was a 4-0 win for the Hoyas in Washington, D.C. The Hoyas, in particular on the defensive side, are just a force. They have not allowed a goal in their last 5 matchups in this 7-game Big East Conference winning streak they have. They allowed 1 goal each in their first 2 victories of the conference slate and have since outscored their Big East opponents 18-0 in the last 5 weeks. They come in off a 5-0 victory over Providence as we get this one underway, and the Hoyas control it. The Hoyas, led, of course, by Dave Nolan in his 22nd season at the helm of the program. He has been with the program since its infancy and has taken them to places of great fame and tons of success. And looking to do the same this year with a nationally ranked team. The Hoyas control possession, but now Marquette trying to clear it. Natalie Means, again, the captain midfielder, with it on the sideline. Nice crowd filing in here on got a very nice night for soccer here in Milwaukee. Hoping to get this one in before the rain comes. We should be able to. 65 beautiful degrees. Two players fall to the turf as the Golden Eagles look to clear it back to their side. A 4-1-4-1 formation for Marquette. Georgetown moving it back on their end. Over to Means. Looking for an angle to cross, and Marquette heads it out of there. Good stop for the Golden Eagles. That's Josie Bida stealing it from Ellen Carter. Georgetown holds the momentum there. As Marquette coming in off their first Big East loss, 3-0 at Villanova. Last time they were here at Valley Fields, they had 2 straight home games in conference play and picked up 2 big wins, 3-1 over St. John's and 4-1 over DePaul back on October 1st and 4th. They have just 1 loss on the season here at Valley Fields, and it was a tough one, as we have a Hoyas player slow to get up. And that looks like Maya Lardner, who is limping heavily and now trying to stand up. Of course, you hate to see that for Georgetown, one of the best players in the country, but she's going to tough it out and stay in. Clearly favoring one side. We'll have to monitor that throughout this one tonight. And that's Haley Wade who collects it for Marquette. Down to the turf. And Marquette will retain. This is Adriana Alberts for Marquette. Just getting underway here. Ida Marhag trying to keep it in bounds for Marquette, and she does. Alberts trying to find Megan Murray. And now Kuiper trying to get to Murray, and somehow keeping it in bounds is Natalie Means. What a play on the defensive side there by the Hoyas captain, but it'll be set back to Marquette. Of course, mentioned Georgetown has won the last 10 against Marquette. In the last 5, Marquette has failed to put a goal on the board. Just this season and historically, Georgetown is so difficult to score against. Georgetown's highest national ranking of this season in the United Soccer Coaches poll. As Wade controls it for the Golden Eagles. Georgetown a perfect 7-0 in conference. They come in first in the Big East. However, Xavier is right on their heels. 6-0-1, just 2 points behind them. Top 2 seeds come a few weeks from now will get a bye in the first round of the Big East Conference Championship Tournament. And Marquette looking to sneak in, sitting in 5th right now with 9 points. Behind Georgetown and Xavier, along with UConn and Villanova, who got a big victory over Marquette earlier this week. As we mentioned, Marquette followed by Butler, Providence, and Creighton, who all have 5 points behind Marquette's 9. And now some nice moves by Natalie Means here for Georgetown. And that was fired in by Mary Cochran, but just to the right of the post. And missed opportunity there for Georgetown. 38 minutes on the clock. Just underway here from Valley Fields. Great crowd on this Saturday night. This is Ellen Carter, the senior defender, tossing it in for Georgetown. Now Mary Cochran once again, who had the shot. The last possession, looking for an angle there. Good job by Marquette. But now Lardner on the far corner, and Lardner still in the game. Good to see. Running better now after coming up limping heavily a few minutes ago. That one's going to be out of bounds. The good crowd here tonight includes a pretty good Georgetown contingency as well. Traveling from Washington, D.C. During this 5-game stretch for Georgetown of not allowing a goal, they have played most of that at home. 4 of those 5 matchups at Shaw Field in D.C. Marquette hoping the more uncomfortable environment of Valley Fields will help them break through. Haven't been able to find a shot early on in this one. You know Marquette would love to break through early and put the pressure on the visitors. That is a very tall task. Georgetown challenged themselves in the non-conference, to say the least. Wins over then number 15 Virginia Tech on the road, and then number 10 South Carolina at home in D.C. They also drew even with then number 13 Virginia and lost 1-0 to then number 25 Vanderbilt. A lot of nationally ranked competition to get them ready for Big East play, which they have not had many problems with thus far. Good stop there from Marquette as Cochran couldn't break through, but the Hoyas retained control. Esme Brayshaw over to Means, but Ida Marhag, the Oslo, Norway native, says not this time. Corner coming for Georgetown, and nothing comes of that. And it will go to Marquette. So a stop on the corner kick. And you may need to get used to the corner kicks tonight. The Hoyas rank first in the Big East in corners per game at nearly 7.5. Megan Murray trying to keep it in for Marquette, and it will go to the Golden Eagles. Megan Murray, the sophomore forward from Glenview, Illinois, involved heavily on both sides of the field early. Murray stops that pass attempt, but now it's knocked into the stands. Nowhere to go for Murray here. Now sends it over to Alberts. All the way to Christensen on the far side. Able to keep it in for Fix. And we got a corner kick coming for Marquette. It'll be Molly Kuiper to send it from the corner. Kuiper sets up looking for an angle and nearly found one there. Murray tries to keep it alive, but the Hoyas able to send it back to midfield. And that was Ellen Carter for Georgetown, clearing what could have been an opportunity for the Golden Eagles. Good look there for Marquette. All you can ask for early against this Georgetown stout defense. And the Hoyas now will have it back on their end. This is Means booting it. That was Claire Shea turning into a brick wall. And that nearly slipped through, but it goes out of bounds.
Fans are now able to support their favorite Marquette women's soccer players. You can purchase your fan jersey online at the Marquette Spirit Shop. Available in adult and youth sizes, each jersey is made to order and shipped directly to you.
All-time series, Marquette 3-12-1 against Georgetown. And speaking of Marquette, it's a busy Saturday night. The women's volleyball team over at the Al McGuire Center swept the Butler Bulldogs 3-0. 25-9 third set. So a cruise control for Golden Eagles volleyball squad. They were over on ESPN Plus tonight. Thanks for joining us over here on YouTube. Happy to bring it to you.
Yellow card, Marquette, Kuiper, 15th minute.
Molly Kuiper picks up the yellow card for Marquette. This one popped in the air. Kuiper right back in there, and this a grand opportunity for Georgetown, but they come up short. That was a one-on-one look, I believe, for Henley Tippins, the senior forward who's had an outstanding season, but couldn't get a clean shot off. And now Tippins here again at center circle. Tippins, 15 points on the season, 7 goals, 1 assist. second on the team with 7 goals. To Maya Lardner, who has 25 points on the season for Maya Lardner in 15 games. Now up to Means. And Means is going to find the back of the net. Natalie Means now evens with Tippins with her 7th goal of the season, and Georgetown strikes first here in Milwaukee. It was Ida Marhag who had the opportunity to stop it and fell to the turf, and Means got a clean shot off, and nothing stopping her. Natalie Means puts the Hoyas on top. Now with 20 points on the season, good enough for second on the team for Georgetown. 1-0 Hoyas with 29 on the clock in this first half. Natalie Means, the senior from Lafayette, California. And she's looking for more. Sends a great pass in there, and then the shot from Cochran goes above the crossbar. And now still down on the turf.
The first Georgetown goal was scored by Natalie Means. She was assisted by Henley Tippins. The goal came in the 16th minute and is Means' 7th goal of the season. Means from Tippins, 16th minute.
Tippins with the assist on that goal. That was Tippins, who was slow to get up there as well, but staying in the game. But Georgetown, you see the aggressiveness that makes it so hard to play them. They get on the board, and less than a minute later, they had an opportunity to go up 2-0. Five shots already for Georgetown, none for Marquette. They nearly broke through on a corner kick, had a couple of decent looks. And now it's a corner for the Hoyas, their second of the night. Nothing doing there. It'll go back to the Golden Eagles.
On for Marquette, Jocelyn Lee and Meg Decker for Emily Fix and Ida Marhag. Hugo the Mexican Eats, making the world a more flavorful place. Qdoba is a proud supporter of Marquette Athletics. Visit Qdoba.com to order online.
Popped up. Marquette trying to get something going. Marquette under the leadership of second-year head coach Chris Allen, who has already matched his win total from his first campaign a year ago. Again, Marquette coming in at 6-4-4 on the season. The fifth head coach in Marquette women's soccer program history, Chris Allen. He worked with the St. Louis University women's program for 8 seasons prior to coming to Marquette. And certainly what you want to see from young head coaches. Improvement after the first season. You know, certainly in the college game, in any sport really, a lot of turnover with a new head coach. And they've already matched their win total from a year ago with 3 matches to go after this one tonight in the regular season. Marquette will be at Providence and at Xavier next week. And then one more game at Valley Field. Senior night will be November 1st against Seton Hall. It's Lardner on the far side facing heavy pressure. And this one will trickle past the line. This is Alan Carter. Good job there from Jocelyn Lee, who is in the game now for Marquette. And points leader for the Golden Eagles did not start tonight and did not play against Villanova on the road. One nothing Georgetown in this first half on a goal from Natalie Means, her 7th of the season. And the whistle blows. This is going to go to Georgetown as Shea Montgomery went to the turf there. She sends it to the far side. Lee fighting for the ball. And now it's off the foot of Carter, but stops it from going out of bounds. Yeah, Jocelyn Lee, not only the points leader, the goals leader with 6, tied for 4th in the Big East coming into the week. Now Means with another opportunity, but had 3 Golden Eagles get in her way, and this one sent back out. .22 on the clock in this first half. Well, that's a great move by Means to get by Meg Decker, who came with the pressure. Now slipping through both Decker and Lee, and a missed opportunity with an empty net for a moment there for Georgetown. Marquette fortunate to have it sent back to midfield. Natalie Means is having her way thus far tonight. Now Marquette just looking for an opportunity here. Up to Lee. Guarded by Boudel. Yeah, lead the leader for Marquette, but Marquette's 14 matches, 12 different Golden Eagles have scored on the season, 8 recording 2 or more goals. And only 3 Marquette players since 2020 have recorded 5 or more goals in a single season. Oh, Jocelyn Lee in good company there, along with Katrina Weatherall and Tess O'Connell. Less than 20 to go in this first half. 1-0 Georgetown again on a Natalie Means goal. If you're just joining us. Good look. Up to Means once again, but Haley Wade stops it. Sophomore goalkeeper from Fishers, Indiana. Haley Wade with more than 30 saves on the season coming into tonight. Now Lardner up for Georgetown, fires it in, and Wade does a good job getting down and picking it off the turf. The 5'8" goalkeeper Haley Wade. And now Kara Martin collects it for Georgetown. Again, the senior in the goal for the Hoyas, reigning Big East goalkeeper of the year. Has also earned Big East goalkeeper of the week for good measure 3 separate times this season. $17 and a half to go in the opening half. Popped up 4 different times. Now that's Olivia Hernandez trying to break free for Marquette, but the Hoyas control. Hoya setting up for another opportunity, up and taken down. That was Tippins, who came up limping earlier and comes up a bit gingerly here, and we're going to have a video review on this one. Tippins went up high for it, and came down hard, paid the price. And another Hoya is down past the goal. Teammates go to check on her. Can't quite see who it is. Again, a video review. And Georgetown's athletic trainer coming out. Oh, the clock stops with 16 to go in this first half for the review. One nothing on a Natalie Means goal for Georgetown. Six shots in the night for Georgetown. 2 on goal, 0 for Marquette. And now walking off under her own power, the injured Hoya. I can't get a number just yet.
As a result of VAR, the call on the field stands as made. There will be a penalty kick for Georgetown.
And Georgetown's going to get a penalty kick. So the call stands after review. And the Hoyas with a grand opportunity against Haley Wade in the goal. It is Means taking the penalty kick. Already on the board tonight, Natalie Means looking for a second on the PK.
Injury substitution for Georgetown. Lily Froelich comes on for Isabel Boudel.
And it is Lily Froelich, who was the injured Hoya, who's going to have to come off for Boudel, who re-enters. Means with the PK, and Wade dove to the left. And Means finds the back of the net for the second time tonight. Natalie Means having a heck of a first half here in Milwaukee. And she's put Georgetown up 2-0. Faked to her right, and that was enough for Haley Wade to dive that way. And no chance for the sophomore to stop that one. Marquette now just looking for a clean opportunity on the offensive end. No shots on the first half thus far.
The second Georgetown goal was scored by Natalie Means. It came on a penalty kick in the 29th minute. The goal was Means' 8th of the season and 2nd of the match.
So Means now 8th goal of the season, moves her into second place on the Hoya squad. Georgetown takes it back on their end. Carly Christopher into the game for Marquette. Physical there is Shea Montgomery for Georgetown, and Meg Decker for Marquette. Natalie Means. Good pass to cross there. Georgetown still looking for an opportunity. That was Lizzie Heller trying to fire away from near the penalty arc. A near collision there for Decker and Means.
On for Georgetown, Abby Droner for Maya Lardner. On for Marquette.
Now Maya Lardner is going to come off for Georgetown. Good, Lardner early in this one came up limping very heavily, but stayed in the game. Now she'll get a rest with under 13 to play in this first half, and now Means gives it up. Up in the air, up to Jocelyn Lee for Marquette. Still contending for it, but good job by Kaya Hansen, junior defender, to knock it away. Outside of a corner kick with a couple of good looks. Just nothing doing for Marquette in this first half. Ten shots to none. Advantage for Georgetown. Four fouls for Marquette compared to 3 for Georgetown, and the one crucial one that led to a penalty kick. Clear call that was confirmed on the video review. Now Martin boots it to midfield. To Murray. Tried to get it back, but intercepted by Heller, who gets it to Means, the playmaker tonight. That time, nowhere to send that one to. And Wade collects it. Back and forth. This is Olivia Hernandez for Marquette. A nice pass up, but Martin comes all the way out and boots it to nearly the far corner. Now pinballing around at center circle. Looking for Means. Meg Decker in on the stop there. Brayshaw up the middle to Decker. Sends it back. And this will go back to Marquette as the whistle blows. 9 minutes to go in this opening half. 2-0 Georgetown. Jocelyn Lee been unable to make anything happen for Marquette thus far. That one's knocked out of bounds, but Marquette will get another corner kick. Their cleanest look of this first half by far, and they'll get their second corner kick of the match here.
On for Georgetown, Caroline Spangler for Natalie Means. On for Marquette, Mary Quigg for Adriana Alberts.
Here it comes for Marquette. Was into Carly Christopher, who had her attempt rejected. Two Golden Eagles collide with each other, and Georgetown now on the break. Looking for Montgomery, and it's Haley Wade sliding and making the stop. That was a one-on-one chance. It was going to be for Shea Montgomery, but Haley Wade makes the bold decision to come out and take it herself. That is a strong play from the young sophomore goalkeeper. Now under 7 to play in this first half. Now tip-ins for Georgetown. Ed Lardner is off.
On for Georgetown, Maya Weezy for Mary Cochran. On for Marquette, Cecilia Febray for Jocelyn Lee.
Jocelyn Lee comes off for Marquette, favor of Cecilia Favre. Mary Cochran goes off for Georgetown as well. Under 6 to play. Make something happen at the end of this first half. And this is Murray at midfield trying to bring it back for Marquette. Pulls back, lets her teammates advance, but a good interception by Esme Brayshaw. So that was Marquette's first shot of the night on that corner kick from Carly Christopher. Or the shot, rather, from Christopher.
Fans, your attention, please. Could all the women's soccer alumni in attendance report to the marketing table at this time for our halftime recognition? Once again, all women's soccer alumni, please report to the marketing table at this time for our halftime recognition. Thank you.
Second to last home game of the regular season here at Valley Fields for Marquette. Well, not senior night yet, but it is alumni night, honoring a group of women's soccer alums here coming up at the halftime break. Ellen Carter working along the boundary popped up. This is Favre working at center circle. And Georgetown breaks it up. Three and a half to go in the first half. Marquette trying to move it across. Tippins working at midfield, physical there. Down to the turf goes Christensen. Now Tippins trying to boot it in and sails it over the net. Out of play. Megan Murray gets a well-deserved break for Marquette, as Abby Ruland, the senior forward, comes on for the last few minutes of this first half. As Wade boots it. Tippins. Maya Weiss into the game for the Hoyas. Hoya is looking for one last chance. With 90 seconds to go.
One minute remaining in the first half.
Good stop from Decker once again. Now Decker moves it up. 35 seconds to play. This is Carter throwing it in for the Hoyas. 20 seconds. Tippins looking for an opening. And the Hoyas find the back of the net with 10 seconds to go in the half. A backbreaker for Marquette, as the Hoyas take a commanding 3-0 lead. On their 11th shot of the half, Georgetown goes up 3-0, and that is how the half will end. Tough to swallow for Marquette right at the end of the half after Natalie Means put 2 goals on the board. A third one scored right at the end of the half. And the Hoyas, ranked 13th in the country, looking to win their 8th straight in Big East play, go up 3-0 Heading to the half here, we will step aside here from Valley Fields and be back with the second half after this. All right, welcome back to Valley Field. Second half underway between Georgetown and Marquette. The Hoyas, the visiting number 13th ranked team in the country, a commanding 3-0 lead in the first half with 2 goals from Natalie Means to get up to 8 on the season, and then a last minute, almost last second goal from Shea Montgomery, the senior midfielder, scoring with just 10 seconds left to play in that first half. A backbreaker goal for Marquette, who now looks to make some noise in this second half. Get themselves back in this game. This is Jocelyn Lee controlling for the Golden Eagles. Across to the far side to Megan Murray, sliding, and this one is taken out of play. Ellen Carter, but it'll be a corner kick coming for Marquette. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube this evening. Matt Yazel with you on just a great night weather-wise in Milwaukee. Who would have thought? Almost late October, and it'd be 63 degrees at 8 o'clock. And we're all sitting out here in light jackets and even short-sleeve shirts, watching this women's soccer matchup on a Saturday night. 11 shots to 1 advantage for Georgetown in that first half. Again, the goals, 2 from Means, 1 from Montgomery. Means looking for another opportunity here. And this one's whistled dead, going back to Marquette. Natalie Means, of course, scoring the goals has been impressive. I think what's been most impressive tonight, just her ball handling ability, almost like a shifty point guard on the basketball court. He is just hard to stay in front of for these Golden Eagles defenders, as we now see for the second time tonight, Maya Lardner, the points leader on this Hoya squad, the reigning Big East Offensive Player of the Year. Second time tonight, she comes up limping heavily, and the Hoya's athletic trainer is out, and she is being helped by him as well as her teammates, and we might see her come off once again. Not what you want to see for Georgetown. Again, just a couple weeks to go before the Big East Conference Championship, and, of course, NCAA tournament aspirations for this Hoya squad, coming in at 11-2-2. Now walking under her own power, but a heavy limp. Maya Lardner, the one of the 2 captains, her and Means, on this Georgetown squad. And she'll get a nice hand from the great crowd we have here on hand tonight here at Valley Field, including both Marquette and Georgetown fans making the trip down from the D.C. area. So Lardner is off once again. Something to monitor for Georgetown moving forward in this season. And the rest of this match here tonight. One of the few games on the season that Lardner won't have her stamp all over the game. Again, 25 points on the season in just the 15 games. 11 goals and 3 assists. Leading the Big East with those 11 goals. And if you're Georgetown, you want Maya Lardner at full strength going into what you hope is a long postseason run. And now Georgetown on the run here, but good job by Meg Decker to break it up for Marquette. Georgetown 7-0 in the Big East. They have a 7-game win streak. 5 straight games without allowing a goal. It would be 6 if the score holds here in this second half. Georgetown with one fewer game than Marquette remaining on the season. Next week, Wednesday, they'll take on Villanova at home in their final home game. And then November 1st, their final game, the game of the year in the Big East Conference. On the women's side, Georgetown at Xavier. That could possibly determine who wins the Big East. As that was Haley Christensen going to the turf for Marquette, but getting the stop, and it will go back to the Golden Eagles. Booting it up to midfield for Emily Fix. But Georgetown with 21 points in the Big East Conference standings. Xavier 6-0-1 with 19 points. So they're very much in the race. Of course, the top two seeds get that bye in the conference championship, as I mentioned. And Marquette sitting in 5th place with 9 points. 3 teams behind them with 5. So you have a slight cushion. But Marquette will also play Xavier on October 25th, along with matchups at Providence and at home against Seton Hall. Seton Hall is winless in Big East play. 0-5-1. Providence 1-3-2. Well, it's going to be an interesting race to watch at the end. And, yeah, you'll have to tune in for that one. Georgetown at Xavier on Saturday, November 1st from Cincinnati, Ohio. Natalie Means working it up for Georgetown. Back and forth it goes. Marquette 3 corner kicks on the night. That's where their lone shot of the evening has come from. And they've gotten a couple of good looks from the corner. And now Georgetown with an opportunity here. This is Lizzie Heller charging in. Now working it to the outside. And now down to the turf goes Means. .36.5 minutes to go. Looking for an angle here are the Hoyas, and a good job by Marquette on the stand. Now Megan Murray wants to run at midfield. Slows it down. Sends it over to Josie Bita. Now this one popped in the air off the foot of Henley Tippins, but it'll lead to another corner for Marquette. That gets round of applause from the Golden Eagles faithful here in Milwaukee. Saw Marquette men's basketball head coach Shaka Smart enjoying this one from the stands at halftime. Again, it is alumni night. A strong group of Marquette women's soccer alum honored at the half as this corner is snagged in the air by Kara Martin. Senior goalkeeper doing it herself there. You don't really get to see the greatness of Kara Martin when the Golden Eagles only have one shot on the night. The reigning Big East goalkeeper of the year, one of the better goalkeepers in the country, led the country in goals allowed average. Kind of like a cornerback in football that the quarterback on the other team doesn't throw to. Their impact is felt, but it might not be as flashy as it is at other times. You will hear Kara Martin's name plenty if you follow the postseason coming up for Georgetown. 3-0 here against Marquette on 2 goals from Natalie Means. One of those on a penalty kick, and then one at the very end of the half from Shea Montgomery. Shea Montgomery's 5th goal of the season, by the way, for Georgetown. She remains 3rd on the team in points with 19 now after that goal. An opportunity here for Abby Droner is knocked away by Meg Decker. Emily Fix, a great boot up the field to Josie Bita. Now working one-on-one, tries to send it across, and there's no Golden Eagle there to knock it in. What a great pass upfield, though, from Emily Fix. Gave Bita an opportunity. Emily Fix, the junior forward, named to the Big East Weekly Honor Roll last week for her performance in last Saturday night's draw at UConn for Marquette. That was a 2-2 draw. Played a key role in both Marquette goals in that one. Drew a foul in the box that set up a penalty kick for Megan Murray. Then in the 59th minute of that one, Fix capitalized on a scoring opportunity to net her 3rd goal of the season. Gave Marquette a 2-1 lead at the time. Now Georgetown looking to capitalize here. Good stop off the shin of Claire Shea. Abby Droner now looking for an angle. And dangerous here for Marquette, but it's knocked away. Good stand from the Golden Eagles defense in the box. Now tripping over the ball is Josie Bita, but it will go back to Marquette.
On for Georgetown, Caroline Spingler for Abby Droner. Also keeper change for Marquette. Elise Crone comes on for Haley Wade.
Going to get a goalkeeper change for Marquette. So Haley Wade, the sophomore, comes off, and the junior, Elise Crone, replaces her. The 5'10" junior from Wilmette, Illinois, a transfer from TCU. An interesting change there for the Golden Eagles. Just over 30 minutes to play in this second half. Again, thanks for joining us here on YouTube this evening. If you missed it, Our ESPN Plus broadcast here at Marquette was over at the Al McGuire Center. The Marquette women's volleyball team sweeping the Butler Bulldogs 3-0.
Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment. Chill, chill.
Matt Yezo with you here from Valley Fields. Kevin O'Connor, our director. Obviously a tough half for Marquette against one of the better teams in the country in Georgetown, and 10 straight victories for Georgetown over Marquette. It would be 11 if the score holds here tonight. It's always certainly interesting in the college ranks when certain programs just are really nationally great, and every year you know it's going to be an incredibly tough matchup, whether they're number 2 in the country like Georgetown was not too long ago under 22nd year head coach Dave Nolan, or if they're unranked but still just a tough team to face. You know they're going to be every year. And while some may look at it and say, oh, it's maybe an automatic loss, it's not for Marquette. Of course, they've beaten Georgetown 3 times, 3-12-1, the overall record. As this, a near miss for Means, just left of the post. Would have been her third of the night for a hat trick. But coming up short there is Means. But to draw comparisons to other sports, you know, looking at the men's basketball slate in the Big East, you know, for Marquette, you think about being in the same conference of the Jay Wright Villanova Wildcats, and now, obviously, the Dan Hurley UConn Huskies rejoining the Big East, how big that was. You know, on one hand, you're not going to be favored in those games, certainly. But on the other hand, it's going to be such a great challenge for your team and an opportunity every year annually to get really not just a really high-quality win, but what could be a very memorable win and program-changing win. And that's what Marquette has here with Georgetown. Marquette's last victory over the Hoyas came in 2013, which was a 4-0 shutout victory over then number 6 Georgetown, which marked the grand opening of this field, Valley Field. And that's a memory that will stand the test of time for this Marquette women's soccer program. As we have a Hoya slow to get up.
Has been booked for Marquette in the 63rd minute. Yellow card, Marquette. Alberts, 63rd minute.
That is Alberts, Adriana Alberts, getting the yellow card here. The second yellow card of the night for Marquette. Molly Kuiper had one in the first. We'll have a substitution for Georgetown as well. Just under 28 to play here in the second half. (14-1) shot advantage for the Hoyas. This is Mary Cochran lining up. Means with heavy pressure on her, and Marquette boots it out of bounds.
Georgetown, Maiwezi for Shea Montgomery.
Yeah, just to wrap up that point for Marquette, you know, every year that you have an opportunity to take down a Goliath in your own conference slate. You don't have to go out and schedule it. Of course, you want to go out and schedule tough opponents in order to prepare your team to play teams that are tough in the Big East, like a Georgetown and Leica Xavier, as we have Lily Frolic down on the turf holding her knee as the whistle blew. A physical Georgetown team, and we've already saw their best player, Maya Lardner, have to leave this game for now in the second half after her second time coming up limping very heavily. Now it's Lily Frolic. Froelich, excuse me. As Froelich is helped up by Georgetown athletic trainer. Clearly in some pain, favoring her left side. Six fouls for Marquette on the night, 7 for Georgetown. Isabel Boudel coming on for Georgetown in place of Froelich. Looks like Marquette will have a substitution as well. Molly Kuiper, the captain, will come off. And Olivia Hernandez is going to come on, the freshman midfielder from Naperville, Illinois. A lot of Illinois representation on this Marquette team, a reflection of the population of the campus, for sure. Strong Illinois and Wisconsin contingency among just the general student body here at Marquette. 13 Illinois natives on this Golden Eagles roster. Popped up multiple times here for Marquette. Make it 4. Now chasing it into the corner to keep it in, and it will trickle out. Georgetown keeps it. Naperville, certainly a feeder city, if you will, into the Marquette campus. Six Wisconsin natives on this Marquette roster. So we have 26 minutes to play in this second half. Georgetown up 3-0. 2 goals from Natalie Means and 1 from Shea Montgomery, all coming in the first half. Just 1 shot on the night after a corner kick from Marquette. Jocelyn Lee doing a good job to keep it in for Marquette. A good pass in, and it took a dive from Kara Martin to keep that one out of the very corner of the goal. That was a great look for Marquette. One of the better passes we've seen tonight from Jocelyn Lee. Second shot of the night, and now another corner for Marquette, their 5th of the night. Up toward the crossbar, that corner went from Emily Fix and whistled back to Creighton, or Georgetown, excuse me. 24 minutes to play here at Valley Fields. This is Mary Cochran working it up to Caroline Spangler, a sophomore midfielder. And it's whistled back to Marquette. To some of the Georgetown fans' dismay. Marquette, again, just picked up their first Big East loss this Wednesday, to Villanova. But statistically, one of the better teams in the conference, ranking third in the Big East coming in to this week. Most offensive categories, third in goals with 26 goals per game at 2. Total shots, 182 shots on goal. Defensively, more in the middle of the pack. 6th in goals allowed per game. 6th in saves. And the Hoyas were able to break through that defense 3 times tonight, including right at the end with just 10 seconds left in that first half. And it's been tough sailing for Marquette against the stout Georgetown defense that, if this score holds, will have their 6th consecutive shutout in conference play. They've now scored 21, or outscored their opponents 21-0 in their last 6 contests.
Marquette Athletics would like to thank our champion-level partners, Aurora Sports Health, Pepsi, and Wintrust Wisconsin's Bank. We are Marquette.
Just over 21 minutes to go. Looking for it in the trees was Elise Crone. She gave it a good effort, needed some help. It's a unique setup here at Valley Fields. The tall, skinny trees at the end of where Crone's standing. Not on the other side, just net. It just leads to another soccer field on the other side. Valley Fields, a big sports complex here, just off the campus of Marquette University, across from the Potawatomi Casino. Pretty soon here, they'll be working on putting up the big dome that allows some of these sports to be played in the cold weather that we get here in Milwaukee. Dome, a big resource for Marquette. I believe it usually goes up during the winter break for the students. It'll be the home of the men's and women's lacrosse. And all the winter and even spring sports, depending on weather. So it's a great resource for some of the club sports here at Marquette as well. But it has been a pretty banner season weather-wise for these soccer teams here outdoors at Valley. 19 minutes to play in the second half. And says a lot as well. This area on Canal Street here, again, right by Potawatomi Casino, was hit very hard in August when the whole city of Milwaukee was hit very hard by historic floods. And this is called the Menominee Valley area of Milwaukee, and it is that. It is a valley, and Canal Street was flooded, and parts of Valley Fields were damaged. But thankfully, the playing surface remained intact and had no reason to move around or reschedule games due to the playing surface. A local athletic facility, Hart Park in Wauwatosa, a very nearby suburb of Milwaukee, host of multiple high school football teams, and all-turf stadium was completely destroyed by the floods. And a lot of maneuvering around had to occur for multiple teams that use that facility afterwards. So you certainly are thankful for that if you're Marquette. And it's been a great season weather-wise. A lot of people still feeling the impacts of that, sports or not sports, from just crazy levels of flooding that is not common here. As this one will go to Marquette, looking for another opportunity here. One shot in the second half, and it nearly found the net. Great pass from Jocelyn Lee. I beg your pardon, it's staying with Georgetown. Now Marquette looking to send it back. This is Decker. Getting it up to Beta at midfield. Megan Murray with two Hoyas on her. Gets an opportunity, and this one's whistled as she's going to go to the turf, and immediately contending with it is Georgetown. Contending with the call. That looked like Ellen Carter in on that one. Isabel Boudel gets the yellow card. Georgetown not happy with that call. Megan Murray, as well as Haley Christensen, line up for Marquette. Another rare opportunity for the Golden Eagles here in this one. And it'll be Christensen sending it in, and it soars above the crossbar. Multiple feet above that crossbar. No leap needed for Kara Martin behind the goal.
At 7 p.m. and we'll be celebrating Senior Day here at Valley Fields. Admission is free for all fans. For more information, visit GoMarquette.com. The men's side in Edgewood, October 21st. Senior Night, 7 p.m.
Good job by Christensen, off the head, out of bounds. Georgetown retains. This is Esme Brayshaw. Fifteen and a half to go here from Valley Fields in this second half. Nothing on the board from either side in this half. Again, if you're just joining us, 2 goals from Natalie Means and 1 from Shea Montgomery for Georgetown in the first half. One of those from Means on a penalty kick. Beta stood up there for Marquette, trying to bring it back. Now Means loses it. The ever aggressive Natalie Means trying to get that one back. But Beta now with it at midfield, trying to get it up to Lee. And they're unable. A lot of short possessions like that one for Marquette tonight. And that opportunity just a few minutes ago, their third shot of the night, compared to 15 for Georgetown. Up to Means, another great opportunity. Working on two Golden Eagles, and it's just knocked off the hands of Elise Crone. Natalie Means just short of a hat trick. And that one an easier one for Crone, who bends the knee and picks it off the grass. Elise Crone into this game for Haley Wade. Makes a good stop there. And we'll get another corner kick for Marquette. Number 6 on the night. Suppose that's one category that's going against the stat sheet here for Georgetown. Again, mentioned they're leading the conference in corners per game, nearly 7.5. They have just 2 on the night. This corner, Martin gets up high and knocks it away.
Corner kick, Marquette.
And it's going to lead to another corner kick for Marquette. Take 2 for the Golden Eagles. This one trying to get it up to Lee. And she never got a head on it, and this one will be booted well to the left, out of play. "12 minutes to go. Megan Murray in heavy traffic. Now Cassie Delinsky moves it up for Georgetown. Back and forth it goes. Cecilia Favre back in for Marquette. Jocelyn Lee goes to the bench.
Clock stops for a substitution by the leading team in the final 15 minutes of the match. On for Georgetown, Maya Weesey for Mary Cochran.
Maya Weesey on for Georgetown.
Rulin for Jocelyn Lee and Megan Murray.
Megan Murray also goes off for the Golden Eagles. As you heard there, a very brief clock stoppage there for the leading team under 15 minutes to play to make a substitution. Now back ticking, under 11 minutes to go. Now Henley Tippins with the opportunity, and she boots it above the crossbar. She's looking for a call from the official. And isn't going to get one. Stood up is Shea Montgomery there. And Olivia Hernandez trying to take it back the other way for Marquette and is unable to. Over to Natalie Means, still fiending for a hat trick in this one. Has had a couple of chances since her 2 goals. Have not seen Maya Lardner back in this game since leaving it early in the second half. Points leader for Georgetown. It was her second time limping heavily off to the sideline. Have to think up 3-0. The Hoyas would not want to push her if she's struggling and want her healthy the rest of the way. But again, just a rare Georgetown match where Maya Lardner's name is not stamped all over it. The graduate forward from Dallas. And now Natalie Means is going to come off, go to the sideline. So maybe the hat trick effort will come up short there. As this is Tippins looking for an opportunity, and Crone makes the bold move, comes out of the box, and stops it herself, but it will stay with Georgetown. Elise Crone has come off the bench and showed herself well, the junior goalkeeper. Well, a couple of tough stops. And we're going to see the double zeros. Alexa Hadley coming on, and Kara Martin's going to get a nice hand from the Georgetown fans here in attendance at Valley Fields. Another clean sheet for Kara Martin. And again, if the score holds, it will be the 6th straight game in which Georgetown has not allowed a goal. Just remarkable dominance in Big East play. And Kara Martin's been a huge part of it. Didn't get tested a whole lot tonight, just 3 shots for Marquette. But when she did, she passed it with flying colors. Seven and a half to play. So if you're Marquette, again, you're going to be scoreboard watching a bit coming down to the end of this season, but you do have the 4-point cushion over Butler, Providence, and Creighton coming into tonight at least. But 3 games left after this one, including a tough matchup on the road at Xavier. This is Evelyn Casadaban, the junior defender for Georgetown there, but it will be sent back to Marquette. But if Marquette, a tough week, your first 2 losses in conference play. You got to keep your sights set on the goal of making that conference tournament, and then once you get there, whatever happens, happens. Anything can happen, rather. And Alexa Hadley, the new goalkeeper on, collects it there. The junior from New Lenox, Illinois. The only Illinois native on the Georgetown roster. I'm sure she's come across the many Illinois natives on the Marquette roster at some point. Again, 12 Illinois natives. Marquette's roster. 2 foreign players on Marquette's roster as well. Mentioned earlier, Ida Marhag, the Oslo, Norway native. Transferred here from the University of Charleston. And then Iceland Boyle, native of Burlington, Ontario, Canada. No players born outside the U.S. on the Georgetown roster.
On for Georgetown, Katie Keefe and Aaliyah Pitts. For Lizzie Heller and Shea Montgomery. On for Marquette.
have to say I've done a couple Marquette men's soccer games as well, and it is much different on the men's side from the couple games I did. It was about 50-50 on either roster. Players born in and outside of the United States. It's a really fascinating mix of local and international talent. Marquette has 4 Wisconsin players, 3 of which very close to Milwaukee: Whitefish Bay, Brookfield, Menominee Falls. We have 5.5 to play here in this one. Marquette trailing 3-0 to the number 13th ranked team in the country in Georgetown, looking to move to undefeated 8-0 in Big East Conference play. Marquette trying to see if they can get one last opportunity in this one, but Alexa Hadley leaps up and snags that one for Georgetown. We talked about some of the history of the matchup between these two teams. Kind of funny, 2 of the really highlight years. Most years have been highlight years for this Georgetown program. For Marquette, it's been a couple, up and down seasons and less historical greatness. And this Georgetown program is on a heck of a run right now under a head coach Dave Nolan. But, 2 of these most notable seasons in both programs' history kind of intersected in 2016. Marquette's last NCAA tournament appearance and last conference regular season title was in that 2016 season. And for Dave Nolan and the Hoyas, 2016 helped them see unprecedented success. It was a 23-3 overall record. Their first ever Big East championship and a run to the NCAA College Cup, where they did fall to eventual national champion Southern California. That's really the only thing missing at this point for Georgetown in the resume under Dave Nolan is, that national championship. Certainly capable of doing it, and they've had multiple teams capable of doing it. That year for Georgetown, he coached 2 players who earned All-America honors, and Nolan and his staff were recognized by the United Soccer Coaches with the National Coaching Staff of the Year Award. Georgetown set program records that year with 17 shutouts and 61 goals scored. That was our first ever Big East championship that year in 2016. Marquette again winning the regular season title. That's certainly the goal you have your sights set on if you're second-year head coach Chris Allen. Getting back not only into the mix in the Big East Conference Championship, but back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2016. Allen coming over from his time with SLU in the A10, working under Kate Shields. A lot of success there. He was promoted to associate head coach there in 2020 and served as the program's recruiting coordinator along with that role. So it certainly helped him gain this role at Marquette. And now trying to build upon success here in year 2. Final minute of this one as Georgetown leads 3-0. No scoring in this second half. .30 seconds and ticking now on the clock. An 18-3 shot advantage for the Hoyas over the Golden Eagles tonight. Marquette had just one in the entire first half. As the final 10 seconds tick away, Golden Eagles play until the end. Hadley will collect it, and the Georgetown Hoyas have improved to a perfect 8-0 in Big East Conference play. They win their 8th consecutive game, and they have their 6th consecutive shutout. They improved to 12-2-2 on the season overall. Marquette falls to 6-5-4. They've lost their 2nd Big East game of the season, 2nd consecutive as well, and now we'll look to continue to fight for a spot in the Big East Conference Championship. Georgetown looking to stay atop the Big East Conference with just 2 games left, including a big-time matchup on November 1st on the road at Xavier, which will be the game to watch in the Big East Conference. Again, an 18-3 shot advantage for Georgetown, and they win this one 3-0 behind 2 goals from Natalie Means and 1 from Shea Montgomery. That's going to do it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for joining us here from Valley Fields in downtown Milwaukee. For my director, Kevin O'Connor, my name is Matt Gazel. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night, everybody.